Miss Bond, are you feeling a little calmer now? Yes. Good. Then allow me to get to the point. Regardless of your intention, you broke the law. Yes, I understand. Nevertheless, I understand that you did what you did in order to prove Mr. Tangaroa's innocence. Therefore, if the real culprit really is someone else, then we have a duty to reinvestigate the case. But if there's nothing to suggest that anything nefarious took place in the official IS-7 incident records, and right now there is nothing to suggest that we should take Miss Bond at her word either. So our first order of business should be arrest the culprit of the case before us, Miss Bond herself. Official records cannot always be trusted, Jessica Bell, especially since there are those prosecutors who will think nothing of twisting the facts. Are you suggesting that the committee at the time overlooked just such a prosecutor? That's for you and your people to figure out. However, it is a fact that the autopsy report was fake, seeing as Mr. Forrest's body was only found just now. There really is something of Mr. Von Karma in you, Mr. Edgeworth. How so exactly? By continually defying the will of the committee and bending the truth to fit your needs, that's how. Perhaps this time you understand how the committee sees this case. I'm so angry right now. The committee is willing to accept that Mr. Von Karma falsified Mr. Forrest's autopsy report. Even still, Mr. Von Karma only managed to have Mr. Tangaroa convicted as an accomplice. I personally have come to believe that the real culprit behind the IS-7 incident is Miss Bond. Her plan to poison and kill Mr. Gasta today was her attempt to frame him for Mr. Forrest's murder. And this is how the committee sees things, is it? It is. As always, I act solely in service of law and order. It sounds to me like all she's doing is acting in service of the committee and covering up the truth. And if I can change her mind, there will be no saving Mr. Tangaroa or Miss Bond. Alright, let's try a one-hit KO. Fans, organizers, convicted as an accomplice, confession. Complete, but I thought there was another. There's nothing. Alright.
Hold it!
If you accept that Mr. Von Karma falsified the report, then why won't you investigate the case? Because the goddess of justice is never wrong. Our verdict remains true.
Objection!
Despite blatant evidence tampering, you sure your precious goddess into that? Almost make you think the committee may have other reason for not wanting this to look into again. Further investigation is simply necessary since the goddess of justice has already spoken. Is that right? Even still, I believe it was confession that sealed Mr. Tangaroa's fate in the end. A confession secured by Mr. Von Karma, which should surely cast doubt on the final verdict itself. Thompson Tangaroa confessed to the initial investigating officer, one Detective Ian Seidman. The official records state that it was his interrogation that led to the conviction. Therefore, all that I can say to you is Goddess of Justice has already spoken. Unbelievable, she just won't budge at all. Are these committee's guys really that big of a deal? In many ways, they are prosecutors' worst nightmare. So kinda like how the police are the great thief, huh? Funny how you don't seem to have a problem working with the police when it suits you though. Is there anything about Ian Seidman here? Are you suggesting that Mr. Tangaros and Miss Bond kill Mr. Frost together? Why not? You could even imagine they split their roles as does. Mr. Tangara could have been the one to commit the act itself while Miss Bond was to remove the body. What? The thought that we could ever kill Mr. Frost. You stole his corpse and hid it for 18 years. Is it really so surprising that you might be considered a suspect? Miss Bond has freely confessed to all of her crimes. Now is not the time to speculate about what else she might have done in the past. Very well, then let us pass judgment on what we know she did in the present.
Hold it!
Why would Miss Bond have chosen to frame Mr. Gustav for the murder? No doubt because he suspected her for being the real culprit. He may have entered what he thought was the Winter Wing simply to see if Gemini's statue was genuine. Little did he know that he would get greeted by a trap designed to silence him, a trap that nearly worked. Do you have any evidence to support that line of reasoning? Unfortunately, Mr. Gustav remains in critical condition. It will be difficult to prove anything until he regains consciousness. In other words, there is little we can do for now. On the contrary, there is plenty we can do. You still have no grasp the situation, have you? Then allow me to spoil you. What? Then allow me to spell it out for you.
Hold it!
All the evidence you need. In the matter of IS-7 incident, we have a body, a murder weapon, and 2 suspects. As for the poison gas attack, we have the sources of the 2 chemicals and Miss Bond's confession. And as for you, Mr. Richard, we also have enough evidence to see that you yourself will have to answer to the committee in a formal hearing. What? Whoa, that doesn't sound so good. Don't worry, Malserino. If nothing else, you're always more than welcome to the Edgeworth & Co. Your Honor, I greatly appreciate it if you would stay focused on the matter at hand. Of course. No, where was I? Either case or the... Just wanna check again. Weapon theater. Press it. You really mean to assert that there are no loose ends left to investigate? No, none at all? All of the evidence has been examined at length, and there is nothing more to be learned from them. Therefore, I see no need for further prolong this trial. This court finds the defendant, Miss Judy Bond. Your Honor, I'm certain there's something that still needs to be examined. The hammer is about to fall, Mr. Richard. Only hard evidence can stop it now. Present what you think requires further deliberation, assuming there really is anything left, that is. This is never yet, not by a long shot. There's still one thing we don't have an answer to, and it's up to me to point with Judge Gabriel. Okay, the sun maybe? Statue of limitation.
Objection!
Oh, I forgot.
Objection!
No? Fucking hell, what the fuck? Again. The liar string him.
Objection!
Oh. So we're using that again, huh? I'm afraid there's still one question concerning the IS-7 incident that remains unanswered, Your Honor. Would you mind taking a look at this? What is it? The test result carry on the lake at the bottom of the Gemini case in the winter wing. As you can see, traces of blood were detected. The question is, whose? Until that question is answered, I hardly think you can claim to have all the evidence. There was blood in the Gemini case? Why did I not hear about this from Eustace? Because Detective Gumshoe informed me of the result directly. I was planning to tell Mr. Winner about it myself, of course. You kept this to yourself until now, despite having no jurisdiction here whatsoever? Mark my words, the committee will hear all about what you have done here today. As ever, my interest is in the truth, and if mistakes were made in past, they must be rectified. If you must report me to the committee, then so be it. But in return, we must be allowed to investigate this case to the very end. That is not my decision to make. You will need to discuss it with Eustace. Guess who's back, losers, and with good news too. It was a close call for a minute there, but Carmelo Gusta is alive. Gusto. He made it. You're the ones who found me. Yep. Long time no see, Gusta. You're the attorney's assistant. You've grown, and you have an assistant of your own now. Assistant? No, I'm... He hasn't got a gig just yet. This is Gregory Etchard's son. Prosecutor Miles Etchard. At your service? Huh? Fate moves in mysterious ways. I'm in your debt. If you hadn't found me in time, I wouldn't be here to thank you. Oh, you're very welcome. After all, if you hadn't left, we wouldn't be able to ask you what really happened 18 years ago. Huh? What are you talking about? We figured out quite a bit while you were out cold, including the fact that you're probably the guy who off for Artiforce. What? Is that true? Miss Bond set up a very elaborate trap to catch Mr. Forrest's murderer. A trap that involved rigging the Peaches case with poison gas. Perhaps in light of that fact, you could tell us in your own words what happened back then? Or perhaps you rather exercise your right to remain silent. Oh, it's not that. Gusta here's a fan of the old meditation, you know? And all that jazz. Wow, sleeping while standing seems pretty cool. That's one heck of a talent. Except there's no sleeping involved in meditation, okay? Hey, Gusta or Paul, how about you snap out of it and tell us what went down on way back when? I was caught in the girl's trap, so I must be the killer. Is this your idea of a joke? I'm the victim here. Indeed you are, Mr. Gusto, and there's no evidence that you've done anything wrong yet. Mr. Redshort and Mr. Fender are merely speculating. Rest assured that they have no authority here, and that you may pay them no heed. At least somebody here seems to be on my side. Judge Vertigavel, it's a pleasure, Mr. Gusto. I will assist you in any way you may require. Perhaps you could begin by explaining that actually happened 18 years ago to Mr. Redshort? Fine. You want me to prove I'm innocent, Mr. Prosecutor? I'll be happy to. So this is how you mean to play it, huh? Judge Gavil? You're hoping Mr. Gusto will help you hide what happened instead of trying to correct the record? I believe only in the infallible judgment of the goddess of justice, except it is us humans who make the actual judgment calls in a court of law. And so long as there are those who would use the law to their advantage, our rulings are fallible indeed. If you will use your position further to obscure the truth, then neither she nor I will forgive you. Haha, we shall see about that. What do you advise, Judge Cavell? It will seem that you are under suspicion because it was you who triggered the poison gas, specifically by opening the Pisces case's lid. Would you be so kind to share why with us? Understood. I came to see for sculpture, simple as that. I made a mistake with the opening times and arrived a half hour early. Miss Bond, was there no one at the reception desk around at that time? I had left the main entrance unguarded and unlocked just in case the killer made an appearance. I was also busy making preparation elsewhere, all the way up until gallery's opening. So no, there was no one here on the first floor then. But I did make sure that all the wings were locked up tight, all except for the atom wing, that is. I see. You did all that just to steer the culprit into the atom, which is precisely where Mr. Gusto went. Sneaking into a building is pretty suspicious, however you slice it. Silence in the courtroom. I will permit no objection or intervention unless there is some evidence that the witness is lying. The courtroom? You know this is an art gallery, right? Mr. Gusto, if you could please continue by explaining why you opened the Pisces case. I wanted to see Frost's work up close. So I went up to the Gemini, Perry. Guess it was supposed to be the Pisces statue, and I saw that the lid was frozen on tight, so I grabbed a blowtorch from nearby and tried to open it. When I finally got it open, gas came out, pouring out. Fascinating. This is the sort of flawless testimony attorneys can only dream of. Yeah, everything sounds like a lie kind. I am none too satisfied with Mr. Gusto's explanation myself. Alas, there's no evidence to refute it. Come on, there must be something. It's Bond's theory you should be questioning, not mine. I'm not the one who set up the gas trap. She could have killed anybody with that thing. She turned on the sprinklers as soon as the gas was released. She knew exactly what she was doing. She was gunning for the killer, and nobody else. That killer being you, old pal. So you believe that self-confessed criminal? Miss Bond is far from blameless in this affair, and she will have to pay for her crimes. But so will Mr. Frost's killer. You seem determined to pin the Frost's murder on me, but I had no reason to kill him. And you have no evidence to prove otherwise. Ugh. Can we really not prove that he's the killer, Mr. Ashworth? Mr. Gusto fell victim to the poison gas. That much is indisputable. Yet, no matter how suspicious his action in the present may seem, they prove nothing about the past. Yeah, but then what about you, Mr. Fender? There must be something we can do. You're right, we may not have the evidence, but we have plenty of intel. Let's see now. If Gusto killed Frost, he must have had a reason. He claims not to have a motive, but that can really be true, can it? If he did it, he has one. Not many people commit murder just for fun. In fact, your old man had a little back and forth with Von Karma about a probable motive too, remember? How can you possibly say that with any certainty? If their relationship had broken down for some reason. That could very well have been a foreign motive behind this murder. Von Karma wouldn't let us talk to Gusto back then, but we can now. If we can put the pieces together, I think the picture we've been looking for might just emerge. Yes, I think you might be right. I need to think back over everything we know about the IS-7 incident, especially the question that never got answered. And the finger marks. Were you the one wearing the gloves? Miss Conn denied that the finger marks on the frame were hers. But what if they were Mr. Gusto's? Perhaps he had wanted to take a look through the ultimate cookbook himself. So he asked me to go put in a new cartridge. He seemed to think there should have been more shots left than there were. In other words, the film ran out sooner than expected. Yes, the number of shots he took didn't line up with the numbers of shots remaining. But we thought maybe he just lost track somewhere along the way. Oh, my father noticed these things for a reason. I just need to piece them together correctly. In the absence of evidence, it's the only way to the truth. Photographing the cookbook's contents will be the perfect way to steal its secrets undetected. And what if Mr. Gusto did just that? What if he used Mr. Tangaroa's camera to photograph the book? It'd be the perfect crime, so much better than stealing it and getting chased by the cops. A sneaky snapshot or 20, huh? That could work. The only question is, when you would have done it? Good question. What about during afternoon tea? Didn't Elisa say that Gusto and Frost had missed out on the little tea party they had? Which brings me to the next question. When do we know for certain that Mr. Frost was still alive? Then, after the contest began, nobody saw height nor hair of Frost. He had secluded himself in his room. The only person capable of entering his locked room was Tangaroa, possessing as he did the only key. Miss Con, were Mr. Tangaroa's works the only ones you sampled? No, dear, I couldn't help myself. When I finished my afternoon tea, I tipped over to Chilling Wings' room for a little taste too. Mr. Frost had kept to himself inside his room after the contest started. He was gone by the time Miss Con snuck into it to steal his work. Meaning there's such a good chance that he was murdered before the end of afternoon tea. Mr. Gusto, you and Mr. Frost conspired to create works for the contest together, did you know? Huh? So you know my little secret. Mr. Fender was kind enough to inform me. Mr. Frost was in charge of the designs, while you were in charge of the flavor, is that correct? What can I say? I still had a long way to travel on the road of becoming master confectioner. But you only collaborated up through the semi-final. Something changed after that. We both wanted to show that what we could do, show that we were better than Tangaroa. Then why did you help Mr. Frost with his entry for the final? What grounds do you have to say that? Your own statement, made from to Mr. Von Karma 18 years ago. You told him that you had been working together right up till the day before the final. The first entry was crafted entirely from blocks of flavored ice which will have needed at least a day to freeze, and whose flavor will therefore have already been prepared by Mr. Gusto. Yes, which lines up perfectly with that Gusto told me that he helped Frost until the day before the final. In that case, why didn't Mr. Frost reciprocate and help Mr. Gusto in return? I can hardly be expected to read the minds of the dead. So why didn't Mr. Frost help you in return, I submit that your relationship broke down for some reason, and that became the basis of your motive for murder. That's not how it was. Sure, we stopped working together, but it was all perfectly friendly. We stopped working together in a friendly way? Kinda hard to imagine, but okay. Besides, how do you think I did it exactly? You think I just strolled into Tangaroa's room and killed Frost? I couldn't have killed the man while Tangaroa was in there working in chocolate pieces, could I? So you see, it can have been me. I wouldn't be so sure. The window of Tangaroa was an if I can prove that Mr. Tangaroa had the opportunity to kill Mr. Frost. This is easy logic. We can be sure that Mr. Frost was alive until the beginning of after, making tea time the only window during which Mr. Gusto could have killed him. Are you satisfied with Mr. Gusto's stories now, Mr. Richard? Sadly, I'm afraid I'm still rather unsatisfied, but things are finally starting to become clear, and the truth will soon come to the light at last. Do you mean to say that you have uncovered the new evidence? Evidence? No. I was hoping I might convince Mr. Gusto to open up about it instead. Oh, is it mind games time? Again? It is. Mr. Gusto, I have a question for you. Oh man, mind game. I said I have a question for you. What is it? You choose to make your entry for the final on your own. I told you, I wanted to test myself. I wanted to prove I was the best in the world.
Objection!
If that were the case, then surely you wouldn't have chosen to cheat in the first place. So tell me, Mr. Gusto, why did you feel the need to team up with Mr. Frost? Like 10 years ago, Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost collaborated in a confectionery contest. But why did they work together? And why did they enter the contest in the first place? That's the information I need to get out of my opponents somehow. Hey, Mr. Gusto seems to have a habit of pretending to be asleep when things aren't going this way. Pretending to be asleep. Let's start by focusing on why he chose to work with Mr. Frost. By my hand, now it's time to dig up the truth that was buried all those years ago. Mind test commence. Mr. Gusto, what inspired you to collaborate with Mr. Frost? We were acquaintances before we were contestants. He was interested in entering the contest, so we decided to sign up together. And your decision to pair up with sculpture had nothing to do with your lack of faith in your skill? You don't know me. We joined forces because we wanted to make the most perfect creation possible, that's all. Frost's son and mine were in the same grade at school, so we got along pretty well too. Oh, so we're just two friends who happened to try for the title of World's Greatest Confectioner. Pretending to be asleep when the going gets tough won't work on me, I'm afraid. Mr. Frost was a sculptor, Mr. Gusto. I doubt he cared much about winning a title for confectioner. In which case, he probably had a different motive for taking part in the contest, wouldn't you say? Fine, it was me, I wanted the title. Frost was only in it for the prize, the ultimate cookbook. I see, and since your objective dovetailed so neatly, you decided to work together. But then, something happened. A breakdown in your relationship, perhaps? If so, I want to know why. Mr. Prosecutor, I'm still quite unwell after my brush with that. Push me too hard, and I'll be on my way back to the medical. No, wait. Then you better wrap this up quickly. I'm already dangerously low on patience. Ragasa is trying to desperately make his escape, but he's not going anywhere. Not as long as he's still keeping things from me. So let's figure out what he was really after next. There's no time to lose. I need to pick up the direct line of questioning and fast. Alright, let's play a little bit. You wanted to appear on Mr. Tangaro's TV show, didn't you? On Cook and Conga? I believe it was called Beck and Bob. You really think people would have wanted to watch me dance like an idiot while I work? No, it might have been a bit too much for younger viewers. I thought not. Listen, I know what I'm good at, and prancing around on TV isn't it? Maybe you should focus on what you're good at too, cause it certainly isn't asking direct questions. Touche, Mr. Gusto. I need to choose my words more carefully. Okay. I'm torturing myself here. I need to study my opponent's reaction and pick my own response accordingly. You had your eyes on something other than the title, didn't you? After all, I'm not sure the title of World's Greatest Confectioner even counts for that much. No, you're insulting the way of the confectioner? My only goal was to win the title. I didn't care about anything else. You have no idea how much it would have meant to me. Look, my sense of designs may not have been up to snuff back then, but you should see me now. Oh, so you've improved. You bet I have. I didn't do all that training in Zen for nothing. I look up to Tangaroa, you know. Spend hours poring over the design of his works. Even used to watch his show with my son. Sounds to me like Mr. Tangaroa's work was especially influential in your early studies. And with his recipe book, you might have even become the best someday. Maybe. The book was real treasure, no doubt about that. Any confectioner would have wanted it. You claim that your only goal was to win the title. Yet you also seem to have had interest in the contest prize, the ultimate cookbook. The greatest collection of recipes by the world's greatest confectioner. I can say I had absolutely no interest in it. And even if I did, what exactly is so wrong with that? Nothing, I suppose. Only that the book contained recipes for medicine, not dessert. And everyone who entered the contest supposedly knew that. I feel like I'm finally getting somewhere. I can let him slip from my grasp now. I just need to stay calm and keep the pressure on. Next, let's find out why he wanted the cookbook. So your plan was to win the cookbook and use it to help you with your own creation. What else? A book like that could have improved my craft tenfold. You could have made a lot of money if you sold it. I don't know much about what was actually in there, but it was worth more than money, I'll tell you that. Come now, Mr. Gusto, I think you know more about the ultimate cookbook than you claim. They told us a little about it at the start of the contest. And you know what kind of recipe it actually contained, don't you? And that they weren't dessert recipes at all. I see. You did your homework. Fine, so you know what was really in there. The ultimate cookbook, or the Angel's cookbook to give it its proper title. It's a collection of chemicals, formula, and ways to synthesize new medicines nobody had ever heard of. So he did know that the cookbook actually contained recipes for medicines. This could be an important clue. Did you know how valuable the cookbook really was? What kind of question is that? It was a collection of Tangaroa's recipe. There wasn't a confectioner in the world who wouldn't have wanted to get their hands on it. And to deploy my clue. Your designs may have improved thanks to your training in Zengfa, but you clearly do enough work on your skills of the deceptions. You've already admitted that you knew the ultimate cookbook was a collection of recipes for medicines. Thereby making your interest not gastronomical, but pharmaceutical in nature. I'm sorry, I need to joke a little bit. I will expose all your lies in the end, Mr. Gasto. It's only a matter of time. Nothing. Sorry, wanted to see if I could do an impression of you. Turns out it's easy. Man, there's no funny dialogue. Well, what the hell. You're a confectioner, Mr. Gasta. You had no professional interest in revolutionary new medicines, which suggests that your interest must have been personal. I underestimated you. Fine, you're right. Winning the title wasn't the only reason I entered the contest. I needed one of the recipes in that book. It was for my son. He was sick. He was? Tell me more. That's none of your business. I've told you as much as you need to know. He looks rattled, but I can let him off the hook. Let's find out what this mystery illness was. Cancer? I've almost gotten to the bottom of this. I can feel it, just a few more moves. Tell me a little more about your son. He was my pride and joy, and my biggest fan. And you entered the contest in order to help him? You clearly don't have children of your own. Any father would have done the same. I would have done anything to help him, anything. You will come to see me here at the contest venue too, right up to the semi-final. Really? Didn't get in the way of your work? If you were trying to beat Samson Tangaroa, surely you didn't have time to look after a child. Yeah, well, I wanted to do what I could do for him. He said he wanted always to be the first to try my creation. I'm still recovering, so if you got nothing to say, let me... Wait. Oh shoot. I forgot. You said your son was sick, Mr. Gasta, and yet he was able to come and join you in the contest? It wasn't that kind of illness, nothing life-threatening anyway. This feels like it could be an important clue. So you need a cookbook to cure your son, yeah. Nowadays you can get the medication he needed anywhere. But back then, that book was our only hope. Which is why I didn't dare waste my time on fancy tea parties. I had to give my all to my work. And what about Mr. Tangaroa's work? Surely that tea break gave you the perfect opportunity to steal a glance at it. And what makes you think I had the energy or time to care about what the others had made? I think you've made it abundantly clear how much interest you had in Mr. Tangaroa's work. What's more, if you were that determined to win the ultimate cookbook, I seriously doubt you would have passed up on a chance to take a peek at your competitor's entries. I had plenty of chances throughout the contest to see and sample my rifle's work, you know, but each time I did, nothing seemed to have any flavor. Oh, must have been nerves or something. Nothing, Mr. Gasta has any flavor? That seems like it could have been an important clue. Could you tell me the name of the disease your son suffered from? You're a real cold customer, Mr. Prosecutor. Isn't it enough that he was seriously ill? Why would you force me to tell you more? Time to deploy my clue. You've already shared with me that your son's illness wasn't life-threatening. So why are you so reluctant to share any further details? It may not have been life-threatening, but that doesn't mean it hadn't been life-altering. I see. That must have been very hard on both of you. Of course it was. That was why I did everything I could to find a cure. We were desperate. He couldn't taste anything, not even his favorite desserts. Oh man, this is so funny if I say it, but I think there's no dialogue for it. As I understand it, the ultimate cookbook contains the recipe for a very particular medication. And that Mr. Tagoro used to cure himself of his own taste disorder. So he had it too? Do you say? So your son has a taste disorder then, am I correct? How did I let that slip? You've been asking me to believe that you need to win the cookbook in order to cure your son. But was that really the case? Of course it was. What are you saying? I'm saying that I'm not sure that's true based on everything you've told me. Time to deploy my clue. Taste disorders are difficult to live with. It isn't easy not being able to enjoy your food. You should know. After all, you just told me you experienced something like that during the contest. You said that nothing you sampled had any flavor. Just your words, correct? Which will seem to suggest that you are suffering from taste disorder. A confectioner without sense of taste. Not exactly ideal. Are you sure it wasn't actually your own condition you were seeking to cure, Mr. Gusto? I had enough of your speculation. I managed just to find in that contest. Made all my own entries, no problems. Sorry, but I'm afraid you're contradicting your own testimony. You've already admitted that you and Mr. Frost had worked together during the contest. It's too late to claim you did it all on your own. Now. You would have us believe that you are a man of principle, and a dedicated student of the confectioner's art. Yet you abandoned this principle and conspired with Mr. Frost to rig the contest. Also, you could cure your own taste disorder. You got me, Mr. Prosecutor. As you said, my sense of taste was shot. My son's was fine. I kept it hidden for so long, 18 years, and nobody knew. Sadly, you can lie to others, but you can't lie to me. Both Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost enter the contest hoping to obtain the ultimate cookbook for the medicine that will cure Mr. Gusto's disorder, the money it will bring in for Mr. Frost. Thus, an easy alliance was forged, and that, I believe, is checkmate. Hooray. I'll admit it. You're good. I never told anybody of this, but you figure it all out anyway. It's true, 18 years ago I developed idusia. What's idusia? The taste disorder that makes it so you can't taste anything at all. A confectioner's worst nightmare. Mr. Fender, is this what Mr. Tangaroa had as well? No, the big man had what they call disassociated taste disorder. Basically, some things he could taste just fine, while others had no flavor at all. So he suffered too. Can't have been easy. Not when there wasn't any way to cure it on the market. Which is why you need Mr. Tangaroa's cookbook. You admit it now that you was the real reason you entered the contest. It was only one of the reasons. I wasn't lying when I said I wanted the title. When I put my mind to something, it gets done, and I won't lose to anybody. I may not have been able to taste it then, but I still knew my stuff was good enough to win. Plus, you went into the final thinking you stood a good chance at winning. Test. Of course. What was it that Fender said about what Mr. Tangaroa thought of Mr. Gusto's creation? Mr. Gusto's creation were a perfect balance of flavor and design, at least up to the semi-final, but disappointingly his entry for the final was subpar on both counts. We were told that your entry for the final was far from the prize-winning taste sensation you described. What happened, Mr. Gusto? What went wrong that day? Fine. You want me to talk? I'll talk, but you're not going to like what I have to say. Frost and I were working together right up through the semi-final. I handled the flavor, he did the designing. But I wanted to face Tangaroa in the final on my own. No help, just me and my skill. So I helped Frost with his entry, but mine I did alone. If I didn't taste good in the final, that's on me. What can I say? I like training. And that's all there is to it. Happy now? There don't seem to be any obvious contradiction in his testimony. Yep, not that I thought it busy to get anything real out of him. His manners do not let slip what really happened for 18 years after all. Why don't you try pushing him a bit, Mel Sereno? See if you can shake something loose. I think I just might have to, Fender.
Hold it!
Frost was in charge of designing the work. You were both submitted while you handled the taste? Yeah, he was a sculptor, a craftsman, and his sense of design was second to none. But he was clueless about confectionery, which is where I came in, which did what the other couldn't. And boy, did you not have an eye for aesthetic, not even for the simple stuff. What did he make right now? How do you like me now? The national symbol of Sengba. Oh yeah, it's a phoenix, that's awesome. I'll say, pretty different from the stuff you're pumping out 18 years ago. Behold, the fruits of my training. I've dedicated my whole life to my craft. But back then, we both need each other's help, so we joined hands until the final.
Hold it!
You were so serious about winning the title then? Of course! The art of confectionery is my life. Why wouldn't I have wanted to become the greatest? But I still had a lot to learn back then. I guess it was no surprise my work wasn't up to scratch. But the title wasn't the only thing you wanted. There was a cookbook too. And you wanted the book even more than you wanted the title, isn't it right, Mr. Gusto?
Overruled.
Mr. Richard, you are a badgering witness who is still suffering from the effects of today's attack. I cannot allow this harassment to continue. I understand, Your Honor, but ignore him, Mr. Augusta. You need not answer that vile prosecutor's question, but please, do continue your testimony in your own time.
Hold it!
So you're saying Mr. Frost didn't help you at all? But he helped you up until then, correct? It's a bit strange for him to stop so late in the contest, no? Strange or not, it's the truth. Could be had his reasons too, I wouldn't know. If he's lying, it's going to be headache to prove. 18 years is a long time. Not unless that gizmo of yours have a built-in lie detector, okay? If it did, I have stolen the show from Mr. Richard long before now. Don't worry, Fender, I can tell when he's lying. No Doohickeys assistance required. Please, Mr. Augusta, continue your testimony. I like training. Select training. Alright, let's press this one. And yet, I heard that your creation prior to the final was scored highly for their flavor. So what went wrong? Was there some kind of cooking accident on that day? No, nothing like that. It was, I told you, I had taste disorder. My sense of taste failed me. It's as simple as that. But Mr. Frost's entry was complimented on its flavor. Your sense of taste hadn't failed you then. Did something happen overnight? I don't think he's going to spill any more beans, Mr. Richard. Then perhaps I should ask him about something else. Did something change between the semi-final and the final, Mr. Augusta? Not really.
Hold it!
So you really completed your final entry without Mr. Frost's help. I may not have his stance to lean on, but I knew I was still solid when it came to flavor. So the visual were only thing that changed between the semi-final and the final. You sure guys still, Paul? Gonna have to call you out on that one, I'm afraid. It wasn't just it looks that got a big thumbs down. Come to judgment time, it got trash and flavor too. Doesn't so much like winner to me. Despite his confidence, Mr. Augusta failed on flavor too. The lack of Mr. Frost's assistance shouldn't have affected that. So was there some other difference? 19 years old mystery. And the key to unraveling it is finally in my grasp. I just need to remember anything Fender told me about what he and my father discovered. Hey, about Frosty. You knew Mr. Frost from before the contest, correct? You remember, I see.
Hold it!
It was no coincidence that you both entered the contest, correct? Yeah, I heard about it first, then I told Frost. I knew he'd be interested. He's always sort of cares for his sculptures. That's right. Mr. Frost was supposed always in financial trouble, wasn't he? The cookbook is really worth that much, huh? I see that clean off your eye, kiddo, but you don't get your creative hopes up. It was worth a lot back then. But these days, you can find most of the stuff in there on any drugstore shelf. Oh, bummer. So literally every last contestant only ever had eyes for the cookbook, I see. 19-year-old mystery. Pull together. can think of one significant difference between the semi-final and the final, Mr. Gasto. Your son. Is him in the photograph, correct? You told me he was here with you after the semi-final. He was. What of it? What indeed? He was here with you until the semi-final. Until he wasn't for the final. Until he suddenly wasn't for the final. And just as suddenly, your work went from being lauded for its flavor to being lambasted for it. I don't think that's a coincidence, do you? Oh! His son is the genius, not him. He wasn't just spending quality time with his father. He was playing a much more pivotal role than that. I just wanted him to see me hard at work, to show him I was trying my best for us. Who knows, maybe it was him being here that helped me do so well in those early rounds. It was a good game, but nothing about this guy screams super dead to me. Indeed, thankfully, he would only have to give such an idea credence if his stories were true. After all, how much could the encouragement of one small boy affect the taste of a grown man's work? Mr. Gasto prided himself on the flavor of his creation, but then he lost his sense of taste. He must have had a tough time to maintaining his high standard after such a devastating loss. Unless, I'm sure your son was here to cheer you on, but that wasn't all he was to do, was it? You're a very suspicious man, Mr. Prosecutor, but why not try answering yourself for a chance? What was an elementary school kid doing here other than to support his father? Oh man. I'm sorry guys, but I need to make a funny answer. Your son was the one making you entries for the contest, wasn't he? My son was no confectioner. He was an elementary school kid. I don't even know how to boil an egg. It was the first thing I'll ask you again. What was an elementary school kid doing here? I'm sorry, but I need to plan the answer again. You had your son to steal your rifle's creation. You mean like scone? Biting bits and pieces of the hold of the talpia. It's got a point. Alright, now the right one. Your son knew the taste of your work pretty well, I imagine, Mr. Gasto. He was my biggest fan, of course he knew it. In which case, he would have been a good judge of it, whether something tasted on brand, so to speak, no? What are you implying? You've already told us that you are suffering from a taste disorder. I'll admit it. You're good. I never told anybody any of this, but we figured it all out anyway. It's true, 18 years ago, I developed ageusia. No one knew about your condition. Indeed, I doubt Mr. Frost would have wanted to continue collaborating with you had he found out. After all, it was your job to make sure his creation tastes good. Therefore, your son wasn't just here to support you. He was helping you by taste testing your work. Dang, now it all makes sense. Frost stuff tastes good because it really was finished the day before when the kid was still here. You have a vivid imagination, Mr. Prosecutor, but did you seriously think I'd trust Kid to tell me how it just the taste of my masterpiece? Shit, sorry. I have some pride, you know, even back then. Did you know? My designs may not have been much to write home about back then, but I always knew my work tasted better than anybody else's. You think I risk everything by putting my reputation in the hands of a child? This is just more speculation, that's all it is. In that case, I asked to speak with your son this instant. Let's see how much of your story he can corroborate. Sadly for you, my son is no longer my concern. You're divorced? What? As soon as I get my sense of taste back, I went straight to Zengpa to start my training, and cut off all ties with the kid for good. What? You abandoned your own child? And that ended half of it. No one knows where he is, even now. The cops have looked all over for him, but no dice. So, still think you can prove your asinine theory? I like to see you try. You think I care about anything besides confectionery? Think again. I got my sense of taste back. What need do I have for a son? Silence in the courtroom. While Mr. Gusta's word and action might have demonstrated a lack of humanity on his part, the goddess of justice cannot judge him for that. She can. Therefore, Mr. Edgeworth, I believe it's time for you to admit defeat. Yeah, give it up. 18 years is a long time for anything to surface now. Proof or otherwise. Mr. Edgeworth, we have to do something. If we don't, the truth might be lost forever. Where are you, Detective Gumshoe? Can't imagine whose blood it could possibly be, but I'll get it tested right away, sir. Please do, Detective. Come on, that's the last piece of the puzzle, I'm sure of it. Once we know whose blood it is. Hey, Miles. Sorry to cut in on your mind place time, but I was pondering something myself. Our friend Gusta didn't come here just to check up on the body, did he? You mean because he tried to open the case? Exatamundo. Think we have anything that might explain why he tried to do that? We might, if Detective Gumshoe can make it back in time with a certain piece of evidence. That's quite enough. I'll check our defense now if you... Mr. Richard, sir, sorry to keep you waiting. Pick of the devil. I take it you have the test result, Detective. Yes, sir. The lab just got back to me. Detective, please, court is in session. Now then, am I right to assume that you are bringing us the evidence Mr. Richard was just speaking of? What? Hey, no fair. Why didn't anybody tell me about any of this? It is indeed the evidence in question, Your Honor. It needed testing, so I asked him to carry it out. What the? Why is everybody always helping you? I'm supposed to be the one in charge here. Mr. Winner, I'm sorry I didn't involve you, but this is important. Can we at least hear what the detective has to say? Well, alright. But Detective Gumshoe, what did the test have to tell us? You're not going to believe this, but the owner of the blood we found in the liquid at the bottom of the Gemini case is Carmelo Gusta, the victim of the poison gas. What are you talking about? Thank you, Detective. You've been very helpful. Well, it looks like my suspicions were correct. What do you mean, Mr. Richard? Yes, what do you mean? Explain yourself. What is the significance of this plot to this case? It's only the very thing the perpetrator of the IS-7 incident have been trying to hide all these years. The fact that your blood was found inside the Gemini case, Mr. Gusta, is good as finding your blood lying right next to Mr. Frost's body. Why would there be traces of blood there of all places, Mr. Gusta? If you want to answer her honor, Mr. Gusta, then I will. There wasn't just blood in the liquid from the Gemini case. There were traces of salt and sugar too. There were? And if you remember, one particular part of Mr. Frog's work was allegedly very salty indeed. Oh yeah. You're talking about what Delicia told us back then, right? What was it again? The liar string. Did they ever? I've never been tried as scrumptious all in my life. Really? Man, I wish I could have had a bite. Well, scrumptious except for the salty bit, of course. That was unbearable. The salty bit? It's in the other photo you've got there. This bit, the heart beating. Gemini's liar. Yes, the liar. Only the liar tested if it had been flavored with salt. There were no traces of salt anywhere else in Mr. Frost's entry. Very interesting. Then perhaps you can tell us, Mr. Richard, where did the salt on the liar came from? Oh,
Take that!
This is the lamp from the IS-7 incident. Indeed, I believe that the salt gave the liar its flavor came from just such a lamp. Mr. Von Karma had established that both salt lamps were in Mr. Tangaroa's room at the time of the crime. One of them was used to kill Mr. Frost. and it was stained with his blood. But no corresponding pool of blood was found in Mr. Tangaroa's room. Right, because the culprit had dug the piece of chocolate with that and into the little stream. Furthermore, aside from the liar, no traces of salt were found anywhere else in the first room either. Hey, come to think of it, the lamps we found in Delicious room were both broken. The lamps appear to be broken. Bulbs are smashed, both of them. Maybe they fell and broke the floor. We never did figure out how the one was in use to kill Frost got busted, but are we thinking maybe it caused us blood on it at some point? Anyone whose blood was found on one of the lamps would have been the person of interest to the police. So the killer need to hide the blood somehow, and in a way that wouldn't arouse suspicion. And is surely suggesting that the liar was used just to do just that? I am. I suspect that the bloody salt was somehow applied to the liar, so that it could be hidden inside the case. Because unlike the fountain water, the sculptures would have needed more time and care to test properly. And so he waited and waited for his chances to dispose the liar undetected. Then the reason he's here today is 18 years ago, Mr. Frost's body and the evidence pointing to his killer were taken away together. And this, of course, was not part of the perpetrator's plan, and thus a new dilemma arose. The possibility that the body, the incriminating evidence, or both would resurface one day. So back he comes 18 years later, sneaking in break and early try and cover his tracks. Well, Mr. Gusto, are you finally ready to admit it? That you are the one responsible for the IS-7 incident? Mr. Gusto, it's only because of you that Samson... Yeah. Gusto. So I finally got caught, huh? All these years later. Nobody came close back then, not even the big shot prosecutor or the attorney. That's some impressive work, Mr. Prosecutor. I have to hand it to you. You admitted then that you murdered Artie Frost. Yeah. Sure, I do. I did it. I killed him. But he only had himself to blame. What do you mean by that? Self-defense? He agreed to help me. We were supposed to help each other so that one of us could win. And whoever won was supposed to be that the other used the cookbook. But on the day of the final, the red finally showed his true colors. Seriously, Frost, we had a deal. Sorry, I'm not helping you in the final. Our little agreement is over, Gusto. But I helped you. I spent all day yesterday making the ice for your pieces. Did you? And you can prove that, I suppose. What do you... Wait, you're planning to betray me right from the start, weren't you? After Frost double-crossed me, I had to make my piece for the final by myself. And like you said, my son wasn't there, so I didn't have any help with the flavor either. So much for the pride you claim to have in your ability to make your delicious desserts. Go ahead and judge. You have no idea what it was like for someone like me to lose my sense of taste. I gave up everything to become the best. Everything. I take pride in that. Something someone like you could never understand. You're right, I don't understand. Do you take pride in the fact that you resorted to the murder? Or that you abandoned your son? Why would I want to understand someone who could do such things? A man can afford to rely on other people. I learned that the hard way 18 years ago. My son never showed up on the day of the final. And in hindsight, I wouldn't be surprised if Frost was the reason why. Why would you think that? What exactly happened to your son? How am I supposed to know? I told you, he's none of my concern anymore. And according to you guys, nobody knows where he is now either. And you don't care? You're horrible. So with his disappearance, so too when your chances of winning, correct? Yeah, I had to find another way of getting my hands on that book. That's when inspiration struck. I decided to skip afternoon tea and snuck into Tangaroa's room. It should have been so easy. All I had to do was photograph the formulas I needed and get out of there. But then Frost showed up. I thought I might find you here. Stealing a recipe from the famous cookbook, huh? Frost! What's this? A cure for a taste disorder? Oh no, that's just too tragic. Confectioner who can taste anything. What will people say? If you tell anybody, I'll... Ah, you'll what? You can't even hit me, you miserable worm. Why you... Frost shoved me hard. When I wanted to punch him, knocked me clean off my feet. I crashed into one of the lamps. Must have been when my blood got on it. So Mr. Frost wasn't the first to get hurt. When it was all over, I realized I had to get rid of that blood somehow, so I scraped off all the bloody spit. I dissolved those salt shaving in some flavored ice mixture, and brushed it all over the herb. That's how you made the evidence linking to your murder vanish. Frost was going to blackmail me. He would have made me give him the money to keep quiet about my condition. You decided you had to kill him? Yeah, I guess I did. Why would I let him live? Would you want someone holding something like that over your head? Besides, he's the one who drew first blood. Makes for a solid case for self-defense, don't you think? So that was the MTS behind it all. Anyway, I initially took the lamp to Frost's room. Went straight there once I figured out how I was going to hide the bloody part. Inspired by all the ice sculpting tools lying about the places, I guess. You're not as dumb as you pretended to be. Yeah, figured I could use them to chip it off and grind it out. Once that was done, painting the stuff all over the harp was easy. But why Samson? Why did you have to frame him? I never meant for the cops to pin it on him. That was your fault. You and the rest of them. Why do you think I went to the trouble of placing the lamps and clothes back on the scone's room? There's only one reason to plant murder weapon in the room of another contestant. And that's to cast suspicions on that person. What? You tried to frame me, Gusty Pants? Yeah. But why? Why poor old me? I respected Tangaroa. He was the best, a true champion. I would never have wanted him to take the fall. But you're a fraud. Your work wasn't even real. You had no respect for our craft at all. You deserve to be punished for what you did. Oh Gusty, oh Kulchi. And had you refrained from eating in Tangaroa's work, Frost's body wouldn't have been found. My plan was to wait until Tangaroa was judging your room. That's when I sneak the corpse into Frost's room and freeze it. But thanks to you, Bound Hero found it before I had chance to retrieve it. I don't understand. Why did you need to freeze his body at all? Why indeed? Mr. Richard, surely you must know. Why did Mr. Gaston need to freeze Mr. Frost's body? Let's just answer seriously. True crime scene. I think this. The reason Mr. Gaston had to freeze the body was to hide the true scene of the crime from the police. So he wanted to confuse them over what really happened. I like. They have secured the time of death. Like in Apollo Justice. They freeze Mr. Frost's body in order to secure the time of death. If they determined that murder occurred during the afternoon tea, he would have been an obvious suspect. Bingo! Freezing Frost's body wasn't simple. Preparing everything took time. So I decided to put his body in the chest in Tangaroa's room while I got everything ready in process. At the time, it seems like the perfect hiding place. Never counted on someone gluttonous promises showing up and making the whole ship collapse. I still don't get it though. Why disguise the body as an ice sculpture at all? The sooner it was found, the smaller the effect on the freezing it had on masking the time of death. Therefore, he needed to disguise it, at least until it's fully frozen. How awful! Using Mr. Frost's own work to help you cover up the truth behind his murder. Ironically, Tangaroa would have been just fine if the body hadn't been found before I got it out of his room. If only things had gone to plan, he wouldn't even have been arrested, let alone convicted. You mean it was my fault? Everything that happened to Samson? It was all because I found the body? Don't let him get inside your head, Jules. None of this your fault. If it wasn't for Samson, it would have been Delicia instead. She would have been the one they arrested. Either way, there's only one person to blame here, and that's Gusto. Didn't help that the initial detective was so bad at his job either. He never even told the prosecutor that the body had vanished. So then, Mr. Von Karma had unwittingly placed Mr. Tangaroa under arrest in the absence of a body? I mean, I guess it will explain why he was so keen to wrap things up. Still, you think he noticed something as big as that if he'd taken a look at few reports, right? Not if someone had been deliberately distorting the facts of the case though. Either way, it seems that Mr. Von Karma didn't know about the body until after the arrest had been made. But admitting that would have spoiled his perfect record. So he kept it to himself and proceeded to prosecute Mr. Tangaroa regardless. Can this really be true? You don't feel bad at all? Somebody spent 18 years in prison because of you. Sticks and stone, girlie. Sticks and stone. What a jerk. I ought to arrest you right now, pal. I'm afraid I can't allow you to do that, detective. Statute of limitation. So you notice, huh? Glad somebody did. The judge is right. You can lay a finger on me. What? Why? You just confessed the murder. No idea, huh? Then I guess I better lay it out for you. I killed Frost 18 years ago. The statute of limitation for murder in this country is 15 years. You do the math. You can arrest me. You think I have confessed otherwise? That's right. The statute of limitation is only 15 years. Is this really the end of the line, Mr. Richard? Once the statute has expired, he can be charged, so... But... How unfortunate, Mr. Richard. I'm afraid that both Mr. Gusto's confession and your deduction will have to be struck from the record. And that Mr. Tangaroa's conviction will remain in place. But we found and proven that the police never had Mr. Frost's body in their possession. Even if we can arrest Mr. Gusto, surely Mr. Tangaroa grants for a retrial on that basis. Does he? I wouldn't be so sure. I'm afraid that goddess judgments are somewhat harder to overturn than you might imagine. So the committee means for the verdict from 18 years ago to stand no matter what. Bad luck, Mr. Prosecutor. There must be something we can do, something to bring Mr. Gusto's down. God, this is hard.
Hold it!
The passage of time doesn't diminish what you did, Mr. Gusto. It sure diminishes one thing though. Your ability to arrest me. Oh, we can arrest you. We can arrest you real good. I could have you in cuffs before you even blink, pal. Like Mr. Richard, this issue isn't even as open and shut as you're making it out to be, detective. You can touch me. It's too late for that. Suspended should the suspect flee to a foreign country. He's fleeing to a foreign country.
Hold it!
Depending on your action over the last 18 years, the statute may not have expired yet. This ought to be good. Alright, I got nothing to hide. If there's something you want to ask it. Very well. Tell us where you've been and what you've been doing since the accident. Sure. Not long after the contest, I was able to cure my test disorder thanks to the formula from that book. And not so long after that, I went to Zengpa to buckle down and hone my craft. Thanks explain a lot. We tried to contact you after the fact, but I guess you are long gone by then, huh? Could be. I left, let's see. Around a year after the murder. It was before Tangaroa's last day in court. Going to Zengpa was the best thing I ever did. Flavor, design. I'm the full package now. Around a year after the murder, it was before Tangaroa's last day in court.
Objection!
And all the backs on those whose lives you destroyed. What's an omelette without a few eggs, huh? Nothing, Mr. Prosecutors, nothing. You're evil. Sticks and stone, girlie. You can arrest me, and that's all that matters. I need more to work with. There is something I can get out of him. Maybe I can push him further. On the statement he just made, is there anything I should follow on? I'd like you to tell us more about your training in Zenpa, if you don't mind. Fine.
Hold it!
Zenfa? And you were there for a while, I imagine? Yeah, I left some time after the investigation and to wrap up. I've been meaning to go there and start my studies for a while, and thanks to the hard work I put in, my designs are now world class. Wow, that's amazing. You like it? It's yours. Really? Alright. Let's spend some time in Zenfa for training. Let's see what they say about
Hold it!
Tangaroa's last time on the trial.
Hold it!
Oh, we can ask him about it. Okay.
Hold it!
Depending on your action over the last 18 years. Oh, alright, this is it.
Objection!
What the statue?
Objection!
Oh shit. I was trying to check it, not present it.
Hold it!
And you? Weren't you summoned a witness at any point by the prosecutions or the defense? I had more important things to do than worry about some court case. I was busy getting ready to go and become the best. Gregory and me searched high and low for the guy. Seems like he didn't want to be found. Sounds like he played his cards right and managed to avoid setting foot in court. Alright.
Objection! Hold it!
Never say never, Mr. Gaston. Nothing is impossible. Really? Come on, give it up. Your father couldn't catch me. What makes you think you can? He would have solved the whole case if it hadn't been for Mr. Von Kram obstructing him at every turn. And now, the statute of limitation is threatening to enter the truth of this case forever. Don't listen to him, Mr. Richard. You can give up, not now. We're doing this for your dad, so we have to see it through to the end. Okay. The truth is right there for the taking. What kind of great thieves are we if we don't grab it for ourselves? I'm not a great thief, Kay, but you're right. Carmelo Gasta, I wanna allow you to make off with the truth.
Hold it!
That was the only reason? Because you know the statue had expired? Why else would I do it? Why would nobody? Not that I plan on it ever coming out, of course. And why was that? Because I'm finally that world's greatest confectioner, and petty stuff like this only gets in the way of me and my craft. So you're more concerned about you and your rep than the fact that Samson's still rotting in jail. I've seen some pieces of force in my time, but you're just flat out unforgivable. Who cares about forgiveness? I did what I did. I don't need you to understand any of it. Alright, Miles, it's official. Uncle Eddie's mad. And that doesn't happen often. You're not the only one. Don't worry, he won't get away with this. Not if I can help it. Mr. Gasto is no ordinary opponent. He's gone 10 years without his crimes being exposed. I think, Mr. Richard, there must be some way for us to arrest him. This guy's probably watched a few legal dramas before, but he's no lawyer, not like you and me. There's gotta be some loophole, somewhere we can use. There's just gotta... He's right, Mr. Gusto is just an armchair attorney after all. Armchair attorney. Alright. Let's get you arrested. The statute of limitation for murder is subject to the following condition. The statute is suspended should the suspect flee to the foreign country, which means that the time you spend abroad doesn't count towards the total time under the statute. No way, just like someone hit the pause while he was in Zengfa? It appears that there may be time left on the clock yet, but that will depend on how long you stayed in Zengfa, Mr. Gusto. It was 3 years exactly. 3 years? Hold on. Nobody say anything until I've done the math. The murder happened 18 years back. The statute is 15 years. At 3 years above C, 15 plus 3 makes exactly 18, which means no way. Mr. Richard, you did it. The statute hasn't expired after all. Bingo, 18 years exactly. Let you work it out for yourself. He's just been stringing us along this whole time. Why is he laughing? We're good, aren't we? We can arrest him now. I hate to break it to you, little sis, but I-7 went down to the end of December. It's April now, which means, strictly speaking, it's been 18 years and 4 months since first murder. Gusta's stay in Zengfa really lasted 3 years on the nose. It's not enough. We're a few months short. Not enough, but... What did I tell you? You can't touch me. I hate to admit it, but he's read the board well when he made his confession. No, we failed? How unfortunate, Mr. Richard. If only the statute had been suspended for another year. Those who will overturn the goddess' judgment must be willing to pay the prices till they fall. And you, Mr. Richard, have failed. No! There must be something I can do. I knew it. Well, if the law can bring Mr. Gusto to justice, then Jutes, what are you thinking?
Objection!
There's no need to go adding your rap shit just yet. We're not done here, far from it, because there's still a way we can nail him. There is? Alright, Marcelino, pep talk. I need you to think back over everything we know about the case. Gusta's overlooked one critical thing that you yourself forgot to believe wrongly about, which is, he wasn't there for Samson's last trial, remember? Best I can tell, he doesn't seem to know about what the final verdict that came down that day is. Which means there's still one way left to us. Crack open your statues for dummies there, and take another look. 17 years ago, they really did number on Samson, and frame him like a pretty picture. But if we make good use of that verdict now, we can make Gusta pay in full for what he's done. Fender, are you? Those who will overturn the goddess' judgment must be willing to pay the price should they fail. Samson's my client, Miles, and I can bring myself to use the source of his pain as a weapon in this fight. So whether we play our last card or not, it's gonna have to be up to you. Bring Mr. Gusto to justice can only happen if I use the outcome of that hard-fought trial. So, should I raise an objection and play that card? My father upon karma. One sought to reveal the truth, the other to hide it. I know which path I choose to follow. That one that seeks to reveal the truth. This court has reached its final verdict. The record will state that Mr. Gusto has been found not guilty on all accounts. No, Your Honor. Mr. Carmelo Gusto is absolutely guilty, and I refuse to let him walk away. His crimes are too unspeakable to go unpunished. Do you mean to suggest that you have grounds upon which to call for his arrest? I do. Now the charges can feel something that proves the statute of limitation hasn't expired. Again?
Take that!
Oh, no. I guess the case file. The case file, maybe? Yeah, the case file.
Take that!
Then victim data, case overview, suspect data. Let's see. Okay, sober. Oh no. Victim date. Oh man, I'm stupid. I'd like to direct your attention to the page concerning the suspect. As you can see, Samson Tanggaro was convicted as an accomplice, and it took around 1 year from his indictment for the verdict to be reached. Yes, that does seem to be the case. In the book you gave us detailed certain conditions pertaining to the statute of limitation for murder. One of them, as I mentioned, is the statute is suspended if the suspect flees the country. Another states that the statute is suspended from the time of any accomplice indictment to the end of the trial. What? Tanggaro was convicted as an accomplice? Yep, guess you're in Zhengpao when the verdict came down. Samson was convicted as an accomplice, not as the main perpetrator. Which is clear news to you. And not good news either, am I right? Oh, so that's what this means. But how can that be? Tanggaro was an accomplice to anyone. He was innocent and you know it. Oh, we know it. It's what we've been trying to prove all along. And in a pleasing twist of fate, his wrongful conviction will be the very thing that sets him free. If you spent 3 years in Zhengpa, and your accomplice Samson Tanggaro was on trial for 1 year, it means you can still be charged with Mr. Frost's murder up to 19 years after the fact. In other words, the statute of limitation hasn't expired at all. The goddess' judgment is infallible, but that of her servants, it appears is not. It seems the prosecutor in charge of this case may have erred. Unbelievably, we may have no choice but to instigate full inquiry. No, how could this? You were supposed to 18 years. That's a long time to let somebody else suffer for your crimes. It's time to pay the piper, Gusta. Another moment too soon. But I'm finally the greatest. My brilliance has been recognized. I gave up everything for this. Everything, even my son. More's the pity. But you can run from the law forever, because the bills come due at last. Mr. Gusto, all set for a trip downtown, sir. Good, which means it's your turn next, right? I suppose so. Dudes. I'm so sorry, everybody. I've caused you all so much trouble. But thank you. Thank you so much for bringing Mr. Gusto to justice at last. I'm afraid there's no escaping the consequences of your action, Miss Bound. But those actions were born of the legal mistakes that were made all those years ago. We all know that. So allow me to apologize in return, on behalf of the prosecution. Oh no, I have no one to blame but myself for it all. Starting with those sculptures. Hey Jets, you think maybe you might want me to represent you? I'm not some Northeast newbie anymore. And there's no way I'm letting you take the rep for everything. That's so sweet. Oh, I'd be honored. Thank you, Mr. Fender. Sorry ma'am, but you gotta come with me now. Of course. Judge Gavel, why did you lie to us? Lie? What are you talking about? You implied that there was no case for a trial. But as you've proven, that wasn't true. Surely anyone truly committed to seeing justice done would have called one as soon as the body was found. I am under no obligation to answer such question, and you clearly have no intention of doing so either. Truly, you are proving to be quite a threat to the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. As such, you give me little choice but to report back on your continued transgression. No doubt you will be called up to appear before the committee in due course. Now, I must be on my way. What the heck? And after you caught the real killer and everything? Isn't that what prosecutors are supposed to do? Regardless of how it all may play out, I will never regret what we accomplished here today. Mr. Edgeworth. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, yes? Why did you stick your nose in this case anyway? You weren't even on the job. My job is to bring the truth to light, Mr. Winner. Not only as a prosecutor, but as a person. I don't get it. I wouldn't expect you to understand. Not as long as you believe that losing the case makes you a winner. That's going way over my head. I'm going home. What was that all about? Eustace still has a lot to learn, is all. Malsy Walsy. Yes? I just wanted to say old Kirgy Pegleg would have been proud of you today. Oh, look at me tearing up. That and thanks for helping poor semi-pupil. Of course. Hey AJ, looks like you cleared everything up, huh? So, what happened exactly? I was kinda busy sketching. Wait, where did Judy and Faraday go? Wow, you really weren't paying attention, were you? Though I am not to admit it, Larry's sketches did come true for us on more than one occasion. Not that I'm about to tell him that. Quit it with glaring, will you? Whatever I did, I'm sorry. Calm down, Larry. I wasn't glaring at you. You totally were. You're just like your pop. He was a terrible liar too. He was? Listen, I'm gonna head out. Need to fill Samson in on what went down today. You wanna come with? Yes, of course. Great, then I'm coming too. So, what's Mr. Tangaroa like? I can't wait to finally meet him. Oh, he's a real sweetheart. You'll love him. Even while locked up, he can't help but make all sorts of cookies and cakes for everyone. It's right to reclaim cake extravaganza is a thing for prisoners and guards alike. Really? That sounds awesome. You think there'll be any left for us to try? Didn't we find a few slices of chocolate cake in the prison the other day? Could they have been some sort of Mr. Tangaroa's baked good? Gami, what are you doing here? I heard you all are coming to see Mr. Tangaroa, so I volunteered to escort him. Hello, new friends. I'm Samson Tangaroa, Prosecutor Miles Etcher, at your service. And I'm Mr. Etcher's trusty sidekick, Kay Faraday. Hehe, it's very nice to meet you both. Miles here is Gregory's son. Is that so? Your father was very kind to me, and fought so hard for my case. But in the end, I betrayed him. I made a false confession and... Don't worry, Mr. Tangaroa. Mr. Fender has explained everything to me. Sure did, and now we're here to tell you the truth about what happened 18 years ago. The truth? Judy did all that? For me? Crazy kid wrecked her brain for 18 years until she finally figured out how to set you free. What can I say? Turns out she really will do anything for you. Oh, Judy, I never did anything to deserve such devotion. Come now, Mr. Tangaroa. I think you all know that's not true. The bond between the two of you has held strong for all these years after all. I don't want to mess this up, so I'm gonna save real quick. You think so? I guess I better show him which piece of evidence is proof the bond Mr. Tangaroy and Miss Bond share. Is it the candy? Chocolate?
Take that!
Those chocolates. Judy made them, didn't she? Yes, she did. They're super delicious and sweet. Miss Bond continued making them just as you taught her even after that fateful day. So that there will always be some waiting for you when you finally came home. Judy. Oh my god. Don't do this. Oh no. This sauce. Ah. I bet they're beyond super sweet then, aren't they? Very much so, I'm afraid. I only wish we could hand them to you. Don't worry, sir. I'll make sure he gets them later. Which should be a clear breach of prison policy. Not that I have the authority now to stop him anyway. Thank you very much. You know, Detective, something about you reminds me of Detective Bed. Really, pal? Because I look up to him a lot. He's my role model. You don't say. It seems fate likes to bring people of all sorts together, huh? You hang in there, Samson. Just a little longer. I should be able to get you out soon. I'm sorry it's taken so long. Nobody could have waited 18 years to get justice. Don't be silly, Eddie. I'm the one who should be saying sorry. Or rather, thank you. Truly. Samson. Well, I guess it's my turn to wait for Judy to come home now. I better make sure there's something delicious on the table for her when she finally walks through that door. Don't let me down, Eddie. Leave it to me, big guy. The IS-7 incident. It's been 18 long years, but this case we inherited from my father is finally coming to a close. Hey Miles, thanks for today, and sorry for forcing you to make the final call like that. Not at all, I simply made the call that felt right to me. Huh? What are you guys talking about? You know how Samson was wrongfully convicted? We had to pretend that he wasn't in order to nail Gusto. We had to pretend it. But to use his false conviction against him, even to save him. As his lawyer, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Yeah, I can see that. But now that Gusto's behind bars, I can finally start to get that wrongful conviction overturned. Yes, and I am sure you will. Wait a minute, does this mean that even if you are only doing what's right, if the false conviction had been overturned before today, Mr. Gusto would have gotten away scot-free? Yep. It's what we folks in the trade like to call legal contradiction. The law is far from perfect because of things like legal contradiction, right? Yeah, but you never know. Things might change. The law is always evolving, just like us humans. Your Uncle Eddie and Miles Serena included, am I right? The potential for growth and change in people and the law, huh? So Miles, are you going to keep fighting crime as a prosecutor? Or help people as an attorney? Something tells me you got a big decision ahead of you. Only you can answer. I know. Well, let's just say I won't complain if you show up at the office one day. And on that note, it's time for me to skedaddle. I owe you big time and always repay my debts, but for now, thanks again for today. I mean it. You're welcome, Andy. Did he seem kind of in a hurry to get out of here to you? He did. And honestly speaking, I'm the one who owes him a debt of credit. After all, he gave me the chance to reckon with my father's final case. When I was a boy, all I ever dreamed of was becoming an attorney like my father. But then, during my time with Mr. Von Karma, I learned the way of the prosecutor instead. Eventually, with the help of some good friends, I found my own voice and a new way to live. But now my career as a prosecutor is at risk of being taken away from me. It may be time to take another long hard look at how I want to live my life, whether I like it or not. man, the dilemma. Oh, you're still. Hey, Gregory. Sorry for reporting in so late. It may have taken 18 years, but you're finally in a position to prove Samson's innocence. All thanks to your boy Miles. I couldn't have done it without him. You should have seen him. The way he fought for the truth gave me chills. It was like I was watching you. Look, I know I'm not half the attorney you were, but those guiding principles you tried to instill in me, I like to think I'm embodying them now as I carry on your legacy. Here's hoping. Your boy will be joining me in that soon. Oh my god. I didn't realize. It's almost the same. Am I going to fight crime as a prosecutor? Or help people as an attorney? What is it the right answer? Which path should I choose?